Hello and welcome to this video, and today we are talking about developing authentic networks for career development. My name is Joyce Thairo. You're watching Intentional Living. What are authentic networks? I first would like to define the word authentic. I love the word authentic, which means being genuine, because out there are so many fake products, many fake lifestyles, many fake relationships, and I insist on having authentic networks, having genuine networks. And when we talk about professional networks, I mean these are people who know you and are willing to help you in the journey of your professional development. And let me say, it is a deliberate act of investing in relationships that will aid you when the time comes of need. When we talk about relationships, I like using the metaphor of bank accounts, emotional bank accounts. You cannot withdraw from a bank in which you have not opened an account with and made deposits. Similarly, in relationships that actually comprises of networks, you have to be deliberate in opening bank accounts, emotional bank accounts with people. And you have to be intentional in depositing into those emotional bank accounts. So this is a life or a long-term commitment where you are deliberate in building relationships with people who can help you in the journey of professional development. In a previous video, we have talked about building experiences. And you may not be able to build experiences if you have not taken time to build networks of people who can help you build experiences in your professional development. Secondly, statistics show that 75% of the jobs in the market today do not get into the public domain. They are actually shared through networks. So it is important for you to be able to build those networks so that you may leverage on information that are shared in those networks. As a student in college and universities, you also benefit by having networks because you have a ready pool of experts who you associate with, and they are able to help you understand the industry trends. Realize in the 21st century there is a lot of disruption, and the dynamism of the 21st century marketplace requires inside information from the experts so that you're able to tell what is happening, what are the industry trends in this particular career or profession. Lastly, you gain mentors. You are able to have mentors in those networks. People who are senior to you can easily become your mentors. And mentors are very, very important in the journey of life, not just in career development planning. You need to have people who you can look up to as mentors, people who can guide you. We do not know everything. When I deal with young people, I have two categories: people who are willing to learn, that is, they have a teachable spirit, and others who are not willing to learn. And the second category often struggles a lot, because if you think you know, you stop learning and you grow old even if you are 20. That is a quote from a certain person. You need to embrace learning, and mentorship is a very critical aspect of learning. So in those networks, you are able to gain mentors, people who can guide you in the journey of professional development. How do you build your networks? The easiest way to build your networks as a student in college and university is to join clubs and societies in the universities. These clubs are very key platforms for you to develop your network. It is not just joining, but also being actively involved in the club activities, including industrial visits and interaction with people who are mentors in those particular clubs. Please take time to join the clubs in universities and be actively involved in those clubs. That way, you're able to expand your networks. Secondly, I would suggest that you join people who are like-minded in participating in social activities. For example, community service. You may be involved in community service there, and you're able to build your networks, increase and expand your networks. When you go out there, you're able to meet new people and you're able to grow and expand your networks. Thirdly, industrial attachments are usually encouraged in institutions of learning, and even in courses where this is not encouraged, you need to take a challenge in getting involved in industrial attachment, whether your course requires it or not. That way, when you go out there in the industry, you gain expanded networks. The other way of building your networks is using the online platforms. One of the key platforms of building your networks is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional network that allows you to connect with people in your industry. In LinkedIn, you will be advised on how to make it as attractive as possible. The first thing I would suggest is that you put up there a very formal image of yourself, a photo of yourself that represents you in your best state. Remember, this is an area where you are actually putting your name there. So take a photo that is a good photo and post it on LinkedIn. Secondly, you need to upload a winning CV. This way, people will be able to see the kind of person they are dealing with, and they will be willing to connect with you. Any person you interact with in the industry, connect with at LinkedIn. That is another way of building your networks. Other social platforms include Facebook, Instagram, and all the other social platforms that the young people are actually engaged in. And I want to say that many young people actually are sabotaging themselves on these social platforms. You find that young people post things that should not be posted on social media, and I would like to warn you that internet does not forget. Whatever you put online remains there forever and ever. So you need to be very intentional about the things you put there on your online platforms. And you also need to understand that employers, potential employers, and people who are elected to give you business opportunities are always confirming about the kind of person you are using your online platform. So it is very, very important for you to be intentional about what you post online. Once you build your networks, it is important for you to keep the relationship going on. It is your responsibility. You do not just wait until you have a need, and that is when you call an individual when he or she has already forgotten about you. It is important for you to keep the relationship going. Keep attending industry events. Keep working and being actively involved in clubs and societies. Volunteer your services. I have had situations where people have gotten opportunities, even job engagements and scholarships. They participated in community service. So it is important for you to not just sit there, but also build your networks. Remember, your network equals your net worth.